the whole state of Michigan, the whole state of Michigan. I don't give a damn for the whole state of Michigan. They ban flavors. I'm not going to get into that yet. Trust me, I will. The BlackCat is a little annoyed at some governor taking it upon herself to save people. Save the children. She's saving the children. I'll get into that after the review. Welcome to your Vape at 5. I am your host. My name is BlackCat. Today, I've got a review. Now, what if I were to tell you that I found for you, actually, a 21700 series mech box that fits right comfortably right in the palm of your hand. Would you say no way, BlackCat? Would you say there is absolutely no possible way you could find a series 21700 mech mod that fits comfortably in the palm of your hand? Well, look no further. I found it. It's right here. It's a SAGA by Vaperz Cloud. Check out that little, isn't she gorgeous? Look at that little guy. I have to hold it with two hands. It's meaty. It's meaty. It's a nice little piece of metal here, guys. That is her. Dimensions on it, 100 millimeters tall. It is 50 millimeters across and 30 millimeters wide. Fits perfectly into the palm of your hand. So this is our review for today. We're gonna do just what we normally do. I'm going to take you down to the table. I'm going to show you what you get in the box, and then I'm going to show you the device. We'll bring it back up top. Take a couple vapes off of it, talk about it, give it a rating, some pros and cons, and we'll get out of here. Don't forget, there is a giveaway today. You're going to win one set of coils. You're also going to win some holy fiber cotton, and you're going to win some cat's whiskers, even though this is what I'm vaping during the review, the Mont Blanc, which is another fantastic juice from Shy Tot. So, without further ado, let's take it downtown. We're going to take it downtown to the table. We're going to take a look at the SAGA by Vaperz Cloud. I'm really excited to do this. This has been an absolute joy testing this mech mod. All right, so here is the box. Nice little packaging here. Some information here on the back. Let me bring you down so you guys can read it. It's for 21 years and older. Please use this at your own risk. It is a dual battery box in series circuit. It is 8.4 volts. That is in series. So you're going to get the combined voltage of both batteries. You do have to know Ohm's law. Make sure you put your batteries in correctly. There is no reverse polarity protection. The product is not to be used in any sexual manner. Wow. The product is only intended to be used in conjunction with Vapor Cloud Atomizer. We're breaking that rule. Resistance of 0.5 ohms or higher. Now, that is the warning. The whole sexual connotation, that kind of threw me there. I had not read the back of the box until now. That I had to read it like 2 or 3 times because I didn't know I was reading it right. But that's what it says. This product is not to be used in any sexual manner. So I will say, hey, Tyler Johnson, do not buy this. Do not buy this because I'm pretty damn sure you will use this in a sexual manner, sir. So you have been warned. All right, let's take a look at what's inside here. Comes in this nice little kind of foamy protection packaging. Get lots of goodies here. You're going to need a couple screws, couple springs for your battery button. Here is another positive and negative for your battery. Get a nice big O-ring who sits on right below the atomizer, protecting the bottom of the mod, and then a bunch of screws. So it gives you plenty of goodies there. So if anything were to break, you will have extras. Take this atomizer off of here so you can take a look at the mod. I'm also going to give it a wipe down here in case. Yeah, let's take a little wipe here. So first thing you notice here, it's got a really nice beefy O-ring there. Your atomizer sits on, keeps you from scratching the top of the mod there. But let's just take a look at it first so you can actually get a good idea of what you're looking at here. This thing is gorgeous. This is the War Graphite. It's actually called War Torn Graphite. That also comes in black. So this is the only 2 versions available right now. It says no branding on it except for the SAGA logo here. The rest of it is just nice and sleek. I mean, this is exactly what I like in a mod. I don't want a whole lot of flashiness with it at all, and this one certainly does that. Top here, you have an adjustable 510 connector here. It's when I first got it, it was screwed down so low that none of my atomizers would connect. So I had to open it up a little bit. Just one thing to be aware of. If you're trying to push the button and it doesn't work, it's because your 510 pin is not connected. Nice beefy O-ring, as I previously mentioned. Side here, you have your fire button. This button does have considerable push to it, so there you do have to push it fairly. It will not go off in your pocket if it's just sitting there. You really have to use a pretty decent amount of force. Now, as you continue to use this mod, that's going to wear in, but they do provide you a spring that you can replace it. And to replace it, I will show you on the bottom here, you get your serial number and your battery door, 5 holes for venting. This fits two 30Ts very comfortably. So you see there's no battery rattle at all in this. One thing I did notice that if you have anything bigger than a 30T, like maybe a Galici battery, I don't know if you've used those or not, that have considerable more mass, you're gonna have problems using them in this mod. Actually, I don't even think it would work in this mod. So that's something to be aware of. Let me see if I can turn this brightness up so you can actually see down in there without blaring you out. Well, basically down in there, you're going to see a positive and negative marker. You can barely see it with my camera, and I apologize. But you have your positive marker on here, your negative marker on there. You also have 5 Phillips head screws, which you can take all those out and take the mod apart if you wanted to clean it. And if you wanted to replace anything with your button, you can do it there. Battery door, there's your contacts for your batteries. Now, these are super thin. So I believe that these are done as a safety precaution, that if you were to use or you were to have a battery malfunction, these will actually melt and break contact so that you do not, so the battery doesn't vent on you. So they look flimsy, but they're flimsy by intention in order to protect. 4 screws there, take that apart and you can take apart your battery button, replace the spring. Spring here, you can go in and out. It does not connect to the mod, but to put it back in, you just set it in there and push it down and it falls right back in. To open it up, just pull that lever back and dump it out. So let's go ahead and put these, really have clearly marked battery orientation so you know exactly how to put your batteries in, and then just snap it back in there. There you go. Again, 100 millimeters long, 50 millimeters wide, and 30 millimeters, 50 millimeters long and 30 millimeters wide there. So that's really it. Let's go ahead and put an atomizer on it. I'll bring you back up top here. This will fit up to a 30 millimeter atomizer. So if you have the Asgard 30 millimeter, this will fit perfectly on there with absolutely no overhang. This is the Rebirth, which is 25 millimeters. And you see, it still looks pretty nice on there, even at 25 millimeters. All right, so let's bring you back up top and talk about this a little bit. Vaperz Cloud is one of the companies that I really, really enjoy buying and using their devices. They've really come through lately. They started out with the Hammer of God, which is kind of a niche type vaping product. A lot of people, it has like a cult following. A lot of people love it. I was never a big fan of it just because it was so big. Lately, they've come out with a couple more devices, a parallel 3 21700 mech box and a Series 3 21700 mech box. This is their 2 21700 mech box. Big thing about it that I really, really like is how it fits so nicely in my hand and your finger there for the trigger. The other part of it that I really like is the performance. So I'm going to show you, these are 2 fresh 21700s. My build in here is right above 0.3. The box says to use a 0.5, and I would suggest using as close to 0.5 as you can just to be safe. I don't know if you can appreciate how much vapor is coming out of this. I mean, it's absolutely incredible. And what I want to do, I'm going to put this up next to the microphone so you can hear it. Yeah. I mean, unbelievable power with this thing. Seriously, this thing is one of the best series boxes I have ever used. That being said, this is providing 8.4 volts at your atomizer. So, well, it'll be a little less than that, but roughly 8.4 volts are coming from that battery. If you are not an experienced vapor, experienced device user, and you have not used boxes in series configuration, this is not for you. This is something you should go ahead and pass by. Start out with maybe a single battery mech device, maybe something that isn't hybrid. Don't go right into this. Now, it's not a hybrid box. You do have something that connects it, but at the same time, this is something that more experienced vapors should use, and definitely not something you should start out on. This is not something that you're going to just go to the store and pick up and start using. Have some experience, read the warnings, know Ohm's law, and make sure that you, at least if you're buying your coils from someone, that you know the Ohm's reading on the coils are correct. Put it onto a device where you can actually see the ohm reading before putting it onto this device. Piece of advice. What do I like and dislike about this mod? Well, there's a couple things right off the bat that I didn't particularly care for. One is that you have to use a specific 21700s. If you try to use Galicies or anything that have those heavy wraps, they're not going to fit. These fit 30Ts very, very snug. Now, if you're an experienced vapor at the same time, you're probably using 30Ts. They are the best 21700 battery on the market, and they are very reasonably priced. So, if you're using this device, go ahead and pick up some 30Ts with it if you don't have any, because you're going to have those in order to use it. The other thing I don't like about it is the battery door. The battery door comes right off, and that can lead to a lot of things happening. One, you could just simply lose it. Two, it could get damaged or something, come off and fall and break. I don't know how it would break, but all you've got to do is mess up that spring. If it hits the ground and messes the spring up, and you're going to have to take time to replace it. So, could they have kept it on this? You know, maybe. The problem with it is that it's so compact that if you were to leave it on there, then it gets in the way of the battery. So they would have had to make the device bigger. And I think they sacrificed the functionality of the battery door in order to keep this a small device. So do I understand it? Yeah, I get it. Does it kind of suck? Yeah, I mean, maybe they could have thought of a different way to hold it on there. I can't come up with any suggestions because, quite frankly, I don't know. But that being said, you could lose the battery door. And if you lose the battery door, then you pretty much cannot use the mod. What do I like about this? There's a lot of things. One, it's a 21700 series box that fits comfortably in my hand. That is a huge pro for me. It's something that you can carry around with you legitimately and not look like you're carrying around a giant orifice. You know, a lot of series stacked mech mods, I love them, but to somebody who didn't know what it was, it would look kind of odd, you just walking around with this giant mech mod. It does. It appears kind of odd. This one looks like a regular mod, and it fits comfortably in your hands. Nobody would have any idea that it was a series mech mod. Nobody would have any ideas there was 2 batteries in here and that you were getting 8.4 volts. So it is kind of more of a camouflaged series vape, which I really, really like. Another part of it is the look. The look of it is sleek. In the black, this is in the war-torn graphite, but even in the black, this thing is absolutely gorgeous. Nice and sleek. It's got no real, you know, they didn't dress it up too much by putting a bunch of Vapor Clouds logos on it or putting any kind of symbol or anything on it, which is what I like. It's just very simple looking, and I really, really appreciate that. The performance. Okay, so the last big pro. This thing hits like a truck. Literally, this thing will blow your hair back. No joke about it. You build this thing, do not build under 0.3. I'm telling you, do not. If you want to keep your eyebrows on your face, don't build below 0.3. This thing will blow your hair back at 0.32, 0.34. It will blow your hair back. I mean, you're getting a ton of power from this. Button can be a little finicky. That's actually the only time I've actually had problems with it. Of course, will be during the review. It goes through juice like you would not believe. I mean, you literally have to re-drip like almost every 3 times you hit it because it is evaporating so much vapor in here. Absolutely fantastic. If I was to rate this series mech box on a scale of poor, meaning it will hurt you, all the way to excellent, I give it a great rating. It is $145. Now, that's a little bit pricey. But most series mech mods you're going to buy are going to be over $145. There's very few. I can think of a couple off the top of my head that you can get that are 21700s that are one-piece mech mods. The Viking, or not the Viking, Unicorn's one, and the Overpowered is another. Again, they're a little big. This is going to give you the same or better performance in a much smaller package at a $145 price range. Is it worth $145? This is going to be something that I'm going to continue to use. It's absolutely going to stay in my rotation. I love stacked. I love series and stacked 21700s, and this gives me everything I want without having to carry around a giant mech mod. So thank you guys so much for watching.